Chapter 1. Don't rely on motivation. As someone who loves to sleep, there's not a lot of motivation when it comes to waking up early in the morning. So that's why it's important to not even rely on motivation. Because motivation is something that could just come here and there. In other words, it's not permanent. Now, I don't need a reminder or somebody to tell me or anything to happen to me for me to be locked in. It's simply because I'm disciplined. I'm disciplined in the fact that I need to improve myself every single day. Now, every second matters. And you need to ask yourself, how disciplined are you in improving yourself every single day? Or are you just motivated for a month or two? Something happened to you, so now you locked in? Or are you locked in regardless? Are you going to be consistent? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Now, a key factor I learned into being disciplined is doing the hard things first in the morning. As you can see, it's kind of brick outside. It's early in the morning, but we here at the track getting that working. What this does is it builds confidence for me throughout the day. I know I was able to get a tough task in first thing in the morning. But when you do all these little tough tasks throughout the day, you're going to become more disciplined because they come easy to you. But doing the tough things is what's going to build character within you to be more disciplined. And now look, we feeling like a champion with the workout done.
Oh, yeah. All right, y'all. That was a good little workout, man. Just early morning work. It's how you gotta start your day, man. In a lot of my videos, y'all just really see me lifting, bro, just trying to get big. But now that it's getting warmer, we on that hybrid athlete wave, man, y'all know. Just a quick workout. I didn't do nothing too crazy today because it is pretty brick. And y'all know I do not like the cold, but it is what it is. We gotta stay disciplined, man. You cannot rely on that motivation. Like, you think I'm motivated to be here, to wake up at 5 in the morning and come in the cold and run? I don't even like running as it is, so that's why I say you cannot rely on motivation, bro, because motivation only comes here and then. I see motivation as like a high, basically. I'm not saying motivation is a bad thing, but what I'm saying is if you only do stuff when you're motivated, then them times when you're not motivated, where you don't feel like doing something, you're not gonna do it because you're not motivated. You see what I'm saying? But that's where discipline comes into play. I'm blessed that God woke me up this morning to put in this work. It's time to get the rest of the day going, man. Yeah.
Chapter 2. Structure. Part of staying disciplined is having a strong structure as far as routine, habits, and practices. My structure is solely based on improving myself as far as eating and also making sure I keep the word of God in my life. Staying close to God is big in my foundation. It's basically who I am, living by the word and doing the things I can do to be the best man of God I can be. And also making sure I'm checking up on family every day.
Yeah, my OG. What you gotta say today in life?
Welcome. And enjoy.
Welcome and enjoy. Anything else?
Stay blessed.
Stay blessed, stay blessed. Y'all already know.
Show the dogs. Hold on, that's Maya. Yo, Nova crazy, bro. My dogs. It's always good to develop a strong recovery routine as an athlete. And one thing I've been adding to my routine is the use of a high quality massage gun. I spoke about the importance of recovery in one of my previous videos, and this is definitely a tool that can get the job done. This one right here is Bob and Brad's brand Heat and Ice Massage Gun. I've been using this for about a week or so, and I love what it has to offer. First, it comes with 5 different attachments. You could use this for different type of feelings for your muscles and joint. My favorite is the heat and ice attachment. This little thing can heat up real quick, providing a nice and warm sensation, or it could cool off your joints and muscles to reduce swelling. This gun also has 5 different modes of strength. And it's much stronger than my previous gun, meaning that I'm able to massage my muscles better and more effectively. The battery life is pretty good and takes USB-C charging. Also, it is a compact gun, which means I could toss it right in my bag and it won't take up much space. I find myself bringing this with me almost everywhere I go. And it even comes with this carrying case right here where you can keep everything stored and protected the right way. The user manual was very informative. Not only does it teach you how to use the gun itself, but it also gives you routines that you can do on different body parts with the different pieces you have. So there's no excuse on not knowing how to use it. They literally give you the answers. So if you're in the market for a high quality massage gun that could basically do it all and then some, I have a 10% discount code in the description for you to get started. But other than that, I'll use this after I work out for about 10 to 15 minutes, just making sure I'm getting those knots and I'm not getting sore no more. Great way to recover. But yeah, I'm the type of guy who has a routine for everything. I actually have videos that have gone viral for my routine, so I know a thing or two about routines, but I always make sure I'm having a proper structure in what I'm trying to do, and that helps me stay disciplined with anything. Chapter 3, the list. A cool way of making sure I stay disciplined is by having a simple to-do list. Whether I write it down on paper or I got it on my phone, a to-do list shows me exactly what I need to get done so there's no excuses. I spoke about this in one of my earlier videos, but I'll make a to-do list the night before I go to sleep, so the next day I'm moving with right intention, or I might even do them for the whole week and just delegate each task for each day. So this is a small, simple way to stay disciplined. Get that to-do list, man. Chapter 4, know your weaknesses. I believe the biggest step into getting better is realizing that you may be lacking in some areas. Now, you gotta know your weaknesses, so when them weaknesses come, you got that defense. For me, I have a sweet tooth, so oftentimes I get tempted when I go to the store. This is why it's important to know your weaknesses, because temptation could creep on you real quick. I know them cookies no good for me, so let's see what decision I make. It's not only about knowing your weaknesses, but it's about dominating them. Know what your weaknesses are, because you may give into temptation when you're in that environment. Verse that works for me, I'm gonna put it right here. That verse hit me different because now in my younger days, I used to be on them websites, man. Them bad websites. I'm not gonna say it because I don't know if YouTube gonna come at me, but yeah, I know what website I'm talking about. I guess this kind of ties into even what I'm saying, like knowing your weakness, because to me that was a weakness. But once I realized it was a weakness, I put the steps in place to stop doing that, bro, because that wasn't what I wanted to do. I didn't want to waste my life going on them websites and looking at that type of stuff. Like, there's gonna be temptations everywhere, especially on social media nowadays. What I did to stop doing that type of stuff was basically I put limits on my social media. I was following a bunch of Instagram models who would wear half naked stuff, bathing suits. Unfollow. I ain't scrolling on social media looking at a bunch of girls and stuff like that. I always look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture for me is eventually I want to get married. I want to have kids. Like, would I like it if my son was doing something like that? No. You see what I'm saying? So you got to think about the bigger picture, and that will make you stop. So just be more disciplined when it comes to fulfilling your desires and your lust. I'm not necessarily just talking about like food, going on adult websites and things like that. That comes with anything, bro. You know, whatever the case is, you may be lazy. You got to realize that you being lazy is a weakness. You got to put the steps in order. You got to find different things to do so you're not being lazy. You know, you may have to put that Xbox away. You may got to put your phone on Do Not Disturb. But these are just some of the little ways that I stay disciplined and how I make sure, like, whatever I feel like is a weakness, that I'm on top of. So, quick little game for y'all boys.
Chapter 5. For the love of the game. You see, with being disciplined, you actually gotta love what you're trying to do. For me, basketball has always been a game I loved. Now, as y'all know, I graduated college. I'm not on no team. I'm not trying to play for no team. But I'm still in the gym working like I'm trying to be a starter. But the simple fact that I love the game is how I'm able to stay disciplined. If something you're doing is positive, you should love it. You should want to do it as much as you can because it's ultimately benefiting your life. Once you adopt that mindset, how could you not be disciplined? It's really all just about perspective and how we look at things. You know, working out every day can be painful, but I love to see the results more. So ultimately, that love overrides that fear. And that's how I stay disciplined and how I look at it. By having the love for what I'm trying to do. And I know it can be hard when the game don't love you back. Trust me, I've been there. But that's where the love comes into play. Because no matter what, you're going to persevere because you know you love the results of you winning. A lot of the times I just like to come to the gym and just work like I'm still in college, like I'm trying to get that starting role, because it really just motivates me in certain areas of my life. Just knowing I gotta push towards something keeps me on the right track, keeps me going in the right direction. Chapter 6. Call a timeout. Sometimes you gotta be disciplined enough to sit down. You don't want to overwork yourself or keep going. So sometimes I'll take a little nap, or I'll just sit down and get a good read in. But just like a car, sometimes you just need to sit down and refuel, man. I may even just call a friend on the phone, or even go to a lake somewhere, sit down and get some reading in. For more of the story, we all need a break, so take that break. Chapter 7. Mind, Body, Soul. It's always important to work on your mind by learning new skills, because we all know knowledge is key. And
And without improving this part of ourselves, we only failing ourselves. And then working on your soul by learning that word of God. Continuing to dive deep into the word and lifting them spiritual weights. And of course your body. Making sure you're getting a proper recovery and doing the right things to keep your health in shape. The 3 areas where all your discipline needs to go.
Overall, one of the biggest keys I'll say to stay disciplined is starting small. When you first started riding a bike, you most likely needed training wheels, right? You needed assistance. Then eventually, you graduated from that, you took the training wheels off, and now you're riding the bike, doing wheelies, all sorts of stuff. So it's the same thing with discipline. What you want to do is you want to find a bunch of things to start small with. You know, creating streaks of how many days you've been doing something, having an accountability partner, joining a challenge, or whatever it is that can help you stay disciplined. I recommend you to do it. Because all these little habits and tricks that you do are all going to compound. I read a book called The Compound Effect, and it talks about if you do a bunch of small little things, eventually over time, they're going to grow into something big. So it's the same thing with being disciplined. Another thing I would say is to give yourself some grace. If you could find one person on this earth who has never made a mistake before, you let me know and I'll delete my channel. Exactly. You're not going to find that person because it's not real. You know, at the end of the day, we're all going to make mistakes. I made a mistake yesterday. I made a mistake today. I'm going to make a mistake tomorrow. But the biggest thing we can do after we make a mistake is hold ourselves accountable, not to a point where we're beating ourselves up and destroying ourselves. Nah, because when we do that, all we're doing, we're just adding to the guilt and shame that we already have for folding in the moment. But what you got to do is you got to get right back up and you got to keep going. You got to keep trying and going again. You got to be persistent in what you got to do. I don't care if it's your 500th time doing something. Maybe it takes try number 501 for you to finally break through. It's important to forgive yourself, man. I always say this to myself. If God can forgive me for all the wrong I've done in my life, then you can forgive yourself for folding in the moment. Very simple math. So these are just a couple things I just wanted to add in this video on how you can stay more disciplined. But overall, I'll just say the biggest key factor, just seeing the bigger picture and realizing that you're not only being disciplined for yourself, but you're being disciplined for the generations behind you, your family, people who may be watching you online or whatever your situation is. You got to do it for other people and not just yourself. So that's one way I stay disciplined. I know that if I'm not working out and I come on YouTube looking big and sloppy, y'all not gonna rock with me, man. But y'all most likely rock with me because, you know, I've been disciplined. I showed my proof. I showed the proof in the pudding. So if I'm not showing the proof in the pudding, y'all not gonna rock with me, man. So that's the one way I use a tool to stay disciplined, right? I use y'all as a tool to stay disciplined. Y'all keep me right. That's just some ways that y'all can stay disciplined. So yeah, man, from this day forward, just make sure you're pushing yourself to stay disciplined no matter what you want to do, whether it's with money, whether it's with food, whether it's with bad habits, good habits, whatever it is. Just focus on implementing some of these tips that I displayed in my video to stay disciplined. We gone.
Being disciplined in anything you do is the key to unlocking the life you want. Lock in.